stomp you and eat the nuts. And then there were those who sucked the ants from straws, and those who actually used leaves to, instead of sitting down on the wet grass, they would get dry leaves and they would pack it nicely and they'd actually sit down on it. And this is how the different groups were identified. But now, memes don't just pop out of nowhere. There is a model that someone by the name of Heiligen, it's the Heiligen model, and then Susan Blackmore, the lady I spoke about earlier, she also had something to do with this whole model. But I'm going to try and explain it based on the song that you all sang earlier. How are memes born, should I say? Okay, so first there's the process of recalling. So when I stood up and I said that today is Bridget's birthday, your immediate response was, oh yay, we're all so happy, and what are we going to do now? We're going to sing happy birthday, right? So my saying that it's Bridget's birthday triggered something in your mind. Okay, so that was recalling the specific thing. Next, there's two ways that it can go. It can either be this meme that arose in your mind, it can either be expressed or it can be transmitted. Expressing means that you are now going to act upon this meme that arose in your mind. Or transmission can be that you are going to take this meme, go somewhere and do something with it, like write it in a book or record yourself doing it or something like that. Next, from there, you guys all decided to act upon it, so you all expressed the meme in your minds. This was then led to exposure. This allowed you to all be exposed to the meme of singing happy birthday. You all following? This becomes complicated. It continues, however. Next, we'll go to assimilation, and this is the process whereby the meme is introduced in your mind, and it goes from just being there, hidden somewhere in the back of your memory, to coming forth and being like, okay, the happy birthday exists, basically. From assimilation, we go to processing. This is where you will then comprehend, or you will now begin to interact with the idea of singing happy birthday. From there, the next step is retention. This means that the meme will either be stored in your long-term or your short-term memory. In your case, it was a long-term memory because the singing happy birthday didn't just happen yesterday. Somewhere along the line, you were not taught, but you heard the song happy birthday, right? And through multiple imitation, it came to where it is at the moment. So after you started singing happy birthday, this was, okay, so the retention part and the storage part is kind of like, yes, you stored it in the back of your mind and it's there now, it exists as a living meme. Meme of happy birthday exists. However, there are many things that can go wrong, like it can be, like mutations, memes can actually be mutated. Like, you'd be singing it one day and you mess up the words, or suddenly you get the tune wrong and you suddenly give birth to a new meme. But that's another story. Okay. The problem with this, however, is the fact that there wasn't a part during that whole model that said, okay, this meme, which I have now given birth to, is a good or bad meme. So this, for me, has complications when it comes to the whole natural selection thing. Because are those memes that now exist, are they going to be benefiting you or your survival in any way? And this is where I start to look at useful versus useless memes. And if you look at the memes that we commonly see today, we look at the useful ones, like the alphabet. The alphabet that I showed you earlier allows us to write books, it allows us to speak and form words and communicate with each other, which makes our lives more fun to live. We have clothing. Now, we don't have fur like the husky did in the beginning. Therefore, these memes for clothing, or the process of making this clothing, allows us to warm ourselves and protect us from the cold. Weapons. One of the articles I read, it said that we don't have fangs like dogs, we don't have fangs like lions or anything like that. So we can't exactly protect ourselves against danger. Therefore, we create weapons that allow, those weapons are the means that allow us to protect ourselves on a physical level. Religions, as I spoke about earlier, then the useless ones, which I feel are a bit useless, but I'll speak about it more later. Jewelry. Jewelry doesn't exactly help us survive in society. Maybe on a social level, but not exactly on a I will die if I don't buy this ring tomorrow type of way. Then myths and legends, like the UFOs, or believing in the Easter Bunny and so on, those aren't exactly useful to our survival. Eating ice cream, which I know some people will disagree again, not useful. And then the big one for me is internet memes. I'll speak more about that. What exactly are internet memes? Well, how many of you have received chain emails before? The ones that say, you send this to 10 of your friends, you will meet your true love in 5 days. You'll have bad luck for the rest of your life, 7 years or something like that. And the sad thing is that all of us know that that is not true. However, how many of you copy 10 friends and then pass it on, and then those 10 friends pass it on, and that's how the memes spread. These are internet memes, so they spread very quickly. And then another one, which I think most of you are. And for those of you who don't know, this is probably seen on Facebook. The top line says that the rules are, once you have been tagged, you need to copy this picture to your album and tag 28 people, including the one who tagged you. So eventually, you tag, I tag Belinda, Belinda tags Bridget, and so on, and it keeps going, and she has to copy the picture onto her Facebook, and so on. You get the picture, right? Once again, what all this does is it wastes your time. It's a lot of fun, but it's a big procrastinator. So they're not very useful. However, even with that said, I believe that memes are a really important part of who we are today. It has formed our cultures in amazing ways. For me, I believe in the Easter Bunny, whereas you believe in Father Christmas. Things like that, they differentiate us and they make us unique as humans. And yeah, so with that, I will leave you with a quote by Richard Dawkins, which says, when you die, there are two things we leave behind. That's genes and memes. So my message to you is to go out and to spread positive memes. Thank you. I have time for 2 questions as well. Anyone? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, I said that.
Okay, at the beginning you were comparing the age to animals, right? And then you said there is a difference. But you also said that the mean is in humans as well as animals.
Yes.
What is the difference?
Okay, well, it's not, there has been research done on the animals. Okay, I started the presentation by explaining the concept of evolution. And from there, I was starting to get to cultural evolution and explaining that range of difference. However, you are right in saying that there are other animals out there as well who do show signs of cultures and who do use memes to develop these cultures. Like another example, I'm not sure if dogs do have memes yet, or do actually, because another thing that was said that if you were to take a baby and the dog, for example, when a baby is a fair, like 1 or 2 years old, and you start clapping your hands or smiling or, I don't know, laughing in front of the baby's natural response is to copy, right? Or if you were to clap your hands and to smile and to do everything like that to your dog, I don't think it would respond the same way the baby would, okay? So there's still a big difference there. And just to bring it back to the chimpanzees then, the whole fact that we share 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees, I think that that's another strengthening point when it comes to evolution, that we are so closely related to these animals, what we call animals, yet they possess so many characteristics that we do and have so many similarities compared to we do. So maybe the dog wasn't the best example, but I hope that clears things up for you.